Hey, it's Josh Trent, and today I get to speak to you about the part of you that's been carrying the weight, the hidden heaviness, the inherited patterns, the stories that didn't start with you, but were passed down through your blood, your breath, and your biology. Look, if you ever wondered why it feels like you're completely stuck, even after doing all of the right things, or why emotional pain seems to echo in your relationships, you keep attracting the same woman or same man, you can't let go of the weight, you can't find your purpose, I'm here to tell you, you are not broken. You're just bio-energetically burdened. Let's talk about how emotional epigenetics and the life method can set you free. First, we're going to go into the myth of genetic determinism. For years, we were told if your family struggled with addiction, mental illness, or chronic stress, too bad, that's your fate. I was told this. Josh, you're going to be overweight. You had chronic sinus issues. This is just your destiny. Your genes are your destiny. But this is not true. Science now shows us, and this is why I'm so passionate about emotional epigenetics, that your epigenome is like a chemical messenger sitting on top of your DNA. It literally is a switch that controls which genes get turned on or off. And those messengers respond to your environment, your emotions, and your beliefs. Think of it like this. Your DNA is a piano, but your life is playing the music. Here's what that means though. Your thoughts, your feelings, your nutrition, your breath, and even your trauma or your healing can change how your body functions at the genetic level. Now, that's not spirituality, although it is. It's biology, because everything's spiritual, including your body. You know, we're half beast and half spirit, but the science of inherited emotion is deep. Let me share a few studies that has changed the game for me. In 2014, researchers exposed mice to the smell of cherry blossoms, paired with a mild electric shock. The mice would get shocked and they would learn to fear the smell of cherry blossoms. But here's the twist. When those mice had babies and grandbabies who were never shocked, they still reacted in fear just to smelling the cherry blossoms. Their nervous systems had inherited a memory. Another scientific study looked at Holocaust survivors. Their children had lower methylation and a gene called FKBP5, responsible for managing stress hormones. This means trauma left an imprint, literally branded the genes and passed it forward. In 2018, a team of scientists proved that early life trauma in mice could affect up to 4 generations. Some of the studies out there show it's even 7, changing their emotional behavior and even how they metabolized food. These are not just patterns, they are biological echoes. But echoes can fade and patterns can be rewritten. A lot of us are in a learned helplessness trap. I was grown in La Mesa, California, okay? And if you don't know La Mesa, California in the 80s or 90s, this is geriatric ward with the occasional who am I going to hook up with conversation. This is a learned helplessness trap. There was no conversations when I was growing up about consciousness, about wellness. And it wasn't until I found football in high school and athletics that I started to work on my physical self. On the screen right now is the Wellness Pentagon. This is the lens that we give liberation through so you can see life as the nourishment of the 5 sides of you: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial. Now, the more that you feed these 5 sides of your lens, the more you can exit the learned helplessness trap. Most people are stuck not because they're just lazy. They're stuck because they've been conditioned to believe that healing is impossible. Society says, your past defines your future. Just manage your symptoms. You go to the doctor. This is not healing, y'all. This is programming. It's a trap called learned helplessness. The belief that no matter what you do, it won't matter. But I'm here to remind you, your healing does matter, not just for you, but also for past, for the current you, and for the future you and your children. We're going to talk about quantum entanglement and quantum theory and how emotional epigenetics and the life method can actually take you from genetic determinism to full-scale vitality. And why am I telling you this? Because I've done it. I'm 45. I love my business. I love my life. I'm with a fiance and 2 beautiful children. My body feels good, but I came from 280 pounds, $80,000 in debt, and I was stuck in the programming. I was stuck in learned helplessness, that belief that whatever I do, it won't matter. It's time to change our lineage. Your choices are more than just your life. They're your children's life, and they actually ripple through this quantum field, and this is what emotional epigenetics and the life method is all about. This is exactly why I created the life method. It's a 6-week journey that rewires your nervous system and really restores your soul. Let me walk you through it. The L is for liberation. We uncover the hidden patterns running the show, the inherited beliefs, the emotional loops, and the survival coping strategies essentially you've outgrown. I know this because I was addicted to pornography for multiple decades. I worked through it, and that is part and parcel of this life program, this life method. The I in the life method is for integration. We use tools like breath work and parts work and somatic release to meet and integrate your wounded parts. The F is for frequency upgrade. You're going to learn how to regulate your nervous system, reclaim your energy, and literally upgrade your biology by taking hold of your epigenome. The E is for embodiment. This is where we get to anchor the work in by reshaping how you relate to others, establishing healthy boundaries, knowing your worth, and even your worth when it comes to money. And of course, we can't do any of this without integration. You'll leave this program with a clear vision, practical rituals, and a lifestyle that supports the real you. This isn't therapy. It's not therapy for people that are broken. This is transformation. And most importantly, it's not about fixing you. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. And this isn't just about you. This is about the quantum field. It's about quantum healing, and it's about legacy activation. Let's zoom way out for a second. What if I told you that your healing isn't just about you? What if every breath you take in presence, every choice you make in love, every wound you choose to meet with compassion is sending a ripple backward and forward in time at the same time? Now, at first audible, you're like, that's kind of woo, Josh. But it's not woo. It's the quantum field. There's many scientific studies like the 100th monkey effect, where these monkeys on an island many miles away from each other started washing coconuts so they could eat. Wouldn't you know it, researchers saw that on the other side of the island, the monkeys started doing the same thing. Now, how did they do that? It's not like the monkeys could talk. They were communicating through the quantum field. This quantum field is always listening. You are the turning point in your lineage. You can release what's been stored in your DNA, in your nervous system, and in your bloodline, and you can choose to not pass it forward. Now, it's a courageous act. It's not for everyone. You are the person who is committed to doing the inner work, but really you're doing the lineage work. I want you to think of a garden. You were born with seeds from your parents. These are your genes. But like a garden, whether those seeds grow into flowers or not depends on how you take care of them. Are they getting sunlight? Are they getting water? Are they getting nourishment? This is why I teach emotional epigenetics, which means your feelings and your family's feelings, like stress or sadness or love, can also change the way that your garden grows. Sometimes if your parents went through really hard stuff, or your grandparents or your great-great-grandparents went through really hard stuff, they might accidentally pass that pain on to you. It's not because they want to, it's because that's how emotional epigenetics works. The pain in the lineage from your past informs your present. Now, I wish it wasn't the case, but here's the cool part. You can change it, just like pulling weeds out of a garden or giving your plants more sun or giving your body more breath. You can heal your body and your mind through breath work, feeling your feelings, and making healthy choices. I always say that it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And this means you didn't cause the pain, but you get to learn how to have the power to change it and how it grows inside of you. That means you didn't cause the pain, but you have the power right now through emotional epigenetics to learn how to transmute it, to learn how to change the ripple in your own DNA so that you don't give those gifts of hypervigilance, of trauma and stress to your children or your grandchildren. We pull out these weeds in this program. This is what we do. We pull out the weeds that were planted long before you were born, deep in your electrical system, in your nervous system, in the roots of yourself. And we begin this journey in a 6-week accelerator called the Life Method. This is your permission slip. This is your moment. From my heart to yours, you are not broken. You are awakening. You are the embodied altar. So we've gone over the different sections in the Life Method. We talked about what emotional epigenetics is, this transfer of energy. Think about what emotion is. Emotion is energy in motion. Science shows and spirituality shows that energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? We know this. Yet, so many people in science think that when you heal, it's just some kind of biological mechanism. You're just rewiring your nervous system, and that's simply all it is. This is the furthest thing from the truth, because the very same love that brought you into the world, that allowed you to be born, where your mother and father loved themselves and your grandparents loved themselves enough to bring your parents into the world, this is how energy in motion, emotion, epigenetically expresses itself through your epigenome, this lever that sits on top of your genome that turns on good feelings or turns on trauma. We can take hold of this lever, finally. Finally, we can take hold of this lever. This is why emotional epigenetics is so exciting. And the Life Method was created because the excitement that I feel from the results that I've gotten at 45, my journey starting a long time ago, almost 15 years ago, this is what this program's all about. Your grandparents loved you. Your parents loved you. They were operating at the highest level of care with the consciousness they had. It's time to stop blaming our parents. It's time to step into emotional epigenetics and the Life Method and learn to not just rewire your nervous system, but also to spark a ripple in this quantum field where not only when you heal yourself, you heal your past, you heal your future, and you heal right now. One thing that I love about emotional epigenetics that I practice every single day is combining parts work with emotional integration and taking an inventory of what are the things that are bothering me, How can I accept the power to change the things I can? And how can I know the wisdom to know the things that I can't? This is part of the Lord's Prayer. I'm not a Christian per se, but I think every religion has power, and every religion is teaching one thing. What is it? It's unconditional love. Yet unconditional love is not a light switch that we flick on the wall. Unconditional love is the practice of integration of all the things that trigger you, that make you feel angry, that make you act out, that make you be harmful to others or self. Emotional epigenetics is this understanding of how we can grab that lever again, and we can start to pull it closer to us and be in control of our life, and also accept the mystery of God as we do our healing. This is your permission slip. This is your moment. From my heart to yours, head over to liberatedlife.com, sign up for the Emotional Epigenetics Life Method. We're going to be going very deep into this in the podcast. This is the next decade of my life, y'all. If you're inspired by this, share this, head over to liberatedlife.com. And until I see you on another podcast or in the Emotional Epigenetics Liberated Life Method, I'm wishing you love, wellness, but most importantly, peace and power. You cannot have power unless it comes from peace. We'll talk with you soon.